Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We return to my colony in progress. By the way, this is Clockwork Empires, currently playing revision 46. It's the updates on this one have been very spotty because oh, there goes the autosave. Great timing. Um, the updates on this series have been very spotty because of Christmas and New Year's and being generally busy and things, but we're back. So I'm hoping to get out the rest of this series before the next major revision hits. Yeah, and I hear there's some cool stuff in the pipes for some of the hot fixes or the experimental revisions that will come between 46 and 47. So I'm looking forward to those. In the meantime, I've received some more colonists. So, if you remember, not enough bricks. Oh, well, the bricks are being produced. If you remember last time, the colony had only, I believe, like the carpentry and this kitchen here. Both of which are bustling now, and the town is in full swing. Production is going, great guns. First order of business, I'm going to get in some commenter names. Now, again, I don't have enough overseers to give everyone a name, and in particular, I don't have enough male overseers to give the presumably male names. So, I do have enough. Mr. Meow. Mr. Meow, you can take over Ivor Bronzeburns, who is his squad is not currently signed to anything. He will soon be though, because I'm experiencing a bit of a labor shortage. Oops. Here we go. Mr. Meow. He is strange and xenophobic. That's always nice. Next, we have Roman Xander. Roman Xander, I don't have any more male overseers, but maybe I can give you one of my... Here we go. Clifton, you get to be a farmer. Formerly Clifton Brazenwalker, and now Roman Xander. There we go. Next up, let's see. Now, Alexander Faber. A viewer requested Alexander Faber, and specifically that he be a carpenter. Although viewer Yaroslav Przynkovsky is already the overseer of the carpentry, I can give you Grover Bacon, who works under Yaroslav. Although I can't click on... This is a bit of a bug. I can't click on them while they're sleeping, so I will get back to you on that one. And, let's see... Nope. 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 Ah, here we go. Here's one. Mordecai, the artist formerly known as Mordecai Sandkissen. We will give the name Jeff Backhome, who viewer Jeff was content to have his name assigned to just some random dude. I wonder if these fields can accept spaces. Excellent. Alright, so we'll let time start again. So I've got a chapel under construction here in the northeast corner in my current orientation. I actually, in blueprint phase, I actually laid out the floor plan and put in all the doors and some of the relevant furniture. With the introduction of the module system in Alpha 46, of course, you can see that the chairs, they don't get built on site, they get built elsewhere, and then they get shipped over in crates. So I've already built the chairs necessary. So I built them here in the carpentry, and the chairs have been boxed, and they're waiting here in the stockpile. So as soon as the chapel gets built... Oh, I get a new overseer. As soon as the chapel gets built, these two IKEA chairs, get brought over to the chapel and constructed. There we go. And now that Grover is awake... You're not getting away from me, Grover Bacon. Grover Bacon will now be... Alexander Faber, or Faber, I guess. Oh, here's a new one. We have a new overseer. That leaves me just enough room to give you the name Deadlight Atar. There we go. I got through the entire list of names. So hopefully you get to see your names take to some wacky things in the course of our playthrough. So as we can see, I've got 2 fields currently growing corn. So this is our original field, and I initially had it growing chilies, just because they had a fast turnaround, but not very efficient use of labor. When I built my second field, I transitioned. I kept the first field growing chilies, and I made the second field grow maize until the first maize crop came in. Then I had a bit of a food bumper, and so I switched the chili crop to also grow maize. So now both fields are growing maize, and hopefully I've got enough to feed everyone, and also make a little bit of booze on the side, because I've managed to build a brewing vat in the kitchen. And as you'll recall, the kitchen and the brewery functions have all been rolled into one building, the kitchen. And so I'm asking the kitchen to maintain a minimum level of 5 basic drink, in this case, chicha, which is distilled from maize. I get the feeling I'm not getting any chicha though, because food is being consumed too quickly. And if we look at the kitchen priorities, you'll see that the kitchen currently prioritizes food over drink. And so the only time it will make any beer, or chicha in this case, is when I've got 10 food in the stockpile, which will probably never happen because people are constantly eating. What's this message here? Oh, we completed the mast. Someone's objecting to my policy of peace with the fish people. Yaroslav, he wants me to deny that the fish people exist. I'm not going to do that. I can ignore Yaroslav. I can in fact deny that they exist, or I can continue our current policy, which is what I'm going to do. Now each time I do that, Yaroslav will become a little bit angrier. Hopefully all the other stuff in town is keeping him from flying into a murderous rage. So let's see how I'm doing for commodities. I'm doing pretty good on logs. Now I am having a stone block shortage. Whoops, I forgot about these soldiers. I actually had them... Oh, wait, I'm not experiencing a stone shortage. I forgot, I set up this new quarry over here. There was a closer quarry which I completely mined out, and then I found this one. I had been sending my soldiers off to random places around town via the rally command, which we can see here. So under the military squad, there's a set squad rally point. If I do that, my soldiers will hustle back to wherever this is. One thing that was tweaked in this revision is that soldiers will only rally... Oh, and if I don't... Here, I'll just cancel the rally job here. Soldiers will no longer rally to a point indefinitely, i.e. there used to be like a starvation problem. Like the rally command would supersede any other script. So soldiers would rally to a point, and if you forgot about it, they would just hang around there until they starved. That's no longer the case. That's been changed such that soldiers' rally points will erase themselves after a full day has passed, which kind of makes sense, because by that time hopefully they've done what you need them to do and they've come back and they're getting hungry and tired, right? Alright, so we've got the chapel. As we can see here, Alexander Faber is assembling the chapel now that all the materials have been developed. I believe the next thing I'm going to build... I'm very short on beds, and I'm actually out of flax. Of course, to grow flax, I would either have to repurpose one of my maize fields, or set up a new field and a new farmer to farm flax. Okay. Right, so the colonists are happy that I have constructed a chapel for them. For the Holy Cog. The colonists are pleased. Right, I need a chapel owner. I need in this case, a priest. And we can observe, hopefully, when my colonists aren't too busy eating, we'll be able to see someone assemble a chair. In the meantime, the chapel, get out of my way, Jeff, back home, needs a chaplain, or a vicar. Oh, here we are. Here's Bellis Solder assembling a chair. A prefabricated chair from out of the stockpile. Bing! There we go. Alright. Who is not doing anything? I guess Bellis Solder. You can also be our new chaplain. Or wait a second. Who among you is spiritually inclined? Ah, good thing I checked. Maud Bronzecog. She has a spiritually inclined trait, which makes her a prime candidate to be my new chaplain. Maud, you have a job. I should, well, I'm not too short on labor at the moment. I was going to toggle on all these alternate jobs here, so that when she's not busy doing her vicar thing, she can also be helping Hall. But I think I'm okay with excluding her from any other jobs except for her vicar duties at the moment. So as we can see, colonists like to hang out in the chapel. And here we have a colonist seeking confession. They will go to the chapel to seek confession. That message I just closed indicates that they went there but were not able to find the vicar, or in fact the congregant, who is the worker in the vicar's work crew, both of whom can preach and take confession and do other priesty things like exorcisms. That's not unusual. I think the timing on the priest and pub jobs has been fixed for this revision, Alpha 46. The timer used to be much too short, so that people seeking confession or trying to get a drink out of the pub they wouldn't wait long enough, and so the job would fail. Just simply because the timer was too short. So I think that's been fixed, unless my memory is playing tricks on me. Yep, here we have more colonists seeking confession. Oh, man, they really appreciate having this chapel. What's the next thing we need? That's right, I need beds, which means I need flax. So I'm going to plot out a flax field. Now the flax field doesn't have to be too big. This is pretty good. I'm going to clear out all this crud first of all. Okay, this will be my flax field. Now I also need someone to work the flax field. I guess it's going to have to be you, Deadlight Atar. You're going to be my flax farmer. Now, yeah, well, that'll have to do. Oh man, more people seeking it. Where is my vicar? Maud Bronzecog? You are if you did that inside the chapel, we might all benefit. Fair enough. We'll leave her to do her thing. So colony life is humming along nicely. I still haven't built a lower class house for my colonists. I've actually been sticking bunks wherever. In fact, I stuck a whole bunch of bunks inside the barracks. Here, you can see by the nice red walls, which is actually not a bad place for bunks. I've also stuck on a bunch of decorations. See this window and this hanger and this sign. And there's a cabinet inside, some of which actually have to be built in the carpentry and then shipped over. And again, that's because of the quality attribute that is new to buildings. So if we take a look at the kitchen, for instance, the workshop quality is uncomfortable. The value is -2 on a scale of -6 to +6. And that's just the balance of nice decorative things to functional modules. The more things you put in a building, be they beds, cots, ovens, the lower that value gets. And the more decorations you put in there, the higher it gets. And you want that value to be as high as possible, simply so that colonists who work in there are not negatively influenced by the circumstances of the building. So it looks like the corn crop is coming in nicely. What to build next? I think, actually, I will build a foreign office, which actually leads me to the next thing I want to discuss, which is the role of the foreign office, which I will discuss with you after I have put down some furniture. Let's put a nice wall-mounted beetle head in here. as well. Right. So at present, in the present implementation of the Foreign Office, which is actually new for Alpha 46, and I think I discussed it in the previous video, it will let you accumulate influence points toward various factions, and then you can spend those points to affect your relationship with those specific factions. And we're being raided by bandits. 4 bandits are coming to steal our stuff. I am going to fight them because I believe I have 3 soldiers. Belisauder, I'm conscripting one of your workers. I have 4 soldiers. I've only got the crappy starting pistols. Well, that should be okay, I think. Yes, so the Foreign Office. At present, all it does, it accumulates influence to be used toward pulling favors and things. If you set it to accumulate empire... Oh, yeah, let's watch the fight. Oh, well, I probably need a barbershop next to tend to everybody's wounds. Why is everyone fighting with sabers? You have guns. Oh dear. Victoriana Pipe Cotter is down. Pipe Cotter down. And everyone else in my colony is fleeing. Game's asking me what I want to do with Victoria Pipe Cotter's corpse. I'm going to say I'd like to have corpses buried in this graveyard I just constructed. I hope that's the only... Oh, Vertaline Mine Widow, very wounded. Okay, we drove them off. Although, not without spilling a lot of blood. Yeah, you know what? I'm also going to start building a barber shop. Here it is, a stripy barber pole. Oh, 3 lower class workers. Excellent. You can refill the ranks of... Take you. Refill the ranks of my militia. And in the meantime, please mop up this blood. Now, how am I going to deal with bandits? In this case, as I generally do, I'm going to say bury the corpses. So they get buried in the same graveyard as my colonists. This actually positively affects my relationship with the bandits. They recognize that I'm not just throwing their bodies in a pit, and you get a small amount of favor with them. Yes, so back to the Foreign Office. Lets you accumulate favor points toward favors. However, it will also become the center of trade. And so if you, in the most recent weekly update, as published by Gaslamp Games in their development blog, they mentioned that much of the code necessary for trading, implementing trading in game, is in place or is actively being developed. And they even showed off some screenshots of the tentative UI, and I guess I can just describe what it looks like. But if you've played Civ 5, or in fact any of the Civ games, or if you've played Dwarf Fortress, when you interact with a trader, you get essentially a big window that's split into 2 halves. On the left side is what you propose to give away in trade, and on the right side is what you propose, what you're asking for in return. Then there are left and right buttons to increase or decrease the amount, and you can specify which goods you want and in what quantities. Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty obvious stuff. So that'll be nice. Now the devs had mentioned hopefully maybe it might be in 46A, which will be the first experimental update after whenever they get back from holidays, right? I mean, even of course the Gaslamp Games devs are all they're on their Christmas holidays as they should be. Seeking confession. Where is my sleepy vicar? Oh, a new bandit colony has set up somewhere. 6 of them, half a dozen. Okay, Mod Bronzecog, there are lots of people waiting for confession. Anyway, that's where the colony stands for now. So you can see how the progress has been. I'm going to cut it off here, just in the interest of not making it run on too long. But the colony is pretty stable. We fended off the bandit attack with minimal deaths. And I think we've got the food situation under control. Mr. Meow is just hanging out in the graveyard for whatever reason. I assume he can't... No, there are plenty of blades. Maybe he just likes hanging out in the graveyard. I hope he's not stuck on the gravestone, which actually sometimes happens. But I guess we'll see. So there we go. Well, thanks for tuning into this episode. Again, the game is Clockwork Empires. I'm currently playing Alpha 46. My name is Alfred. The developers are Gaslamp Games. This game is in early access, so of course you can hear me talking about upcoming features and bugs and things that aren't quite working right. If this sort of game interests you, you could consider purchasing it now. It's being sold for a 10% discount under Steam's winter or Christmas sale at the moment. So if you're interested, you know, maybe not a bad time to get in. The game is reasonably stable, although bugs and things are obviously still being ironed out, and lots of features have not yet been implemented. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching this one, and tune in next time for another episode of Alfred fumbling around in Clockwork Empires. We'll see you then.